they said, no, they didn't. Which one?
Yeah, they actually they buried it so deep, and then they came out with an article that denied the fact that they said Biden was stepping down.
Yeah.
So, first they're denying something that, that they didn't say.
CNN is now the Chinese news network because the Clintons are dead. So that's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, take Obama's in Hawaii. That's not Obama by any stretch of the imagination. It's not. And I don't know what that is. And Travel and Leisure magazine.
Yeah, for everybody out there, like when Kim's, if she says somebody's dead, they're dead. So whenever you see a character, like the fact that last week we said this person are gone, and then all of a sudden the next day they were all on the news when no one even cared about these people. They weren't even talking about it at that time. It's there's always body doubles. I mean, everybody knows this. Like, leaders use body doubles all the time to protect themselves. It's known, even if you don't believe in any other alternative like holograms, which, by the way, there's very clear video of the Pope stepping out onto the platform to speak, and then he turns around to walk into the door and he just disappears. That's not because he's a magician. It's because he was a hologram and they just projected it out there, right? This is technology that we know exists. It works all the time. There's video of Hillary Clinton when she was speaking at one of the Democratic functions when she was running for president, and she glitches. The whole video doesn't glitch, just her. Like, horribly, it's obvious, right? So,
and Bush Sr. died for sure the end of 2014. I actually confirmed it with his Secret Service detail at the time. And they said, oh my God, he's dead, right? And I called those same people up the nenext day, and they were like, no, he's fine. I'm like, okay, he kind of died, And then this went on for another, 5 years, right? Or 4 or 5 years until they finally announced it. He died at the end of 2014. He was poisoned by the Yakuza. Bad fish. It's like their signature, like the Colombian necktie, And, finally, I guess his last usable clone died, or doppelganger or whatever died.
Yeah.
They had to finally kick the bucket, yeah.
Yep. And there's it is what it is. And, I mean, this technology exists. I mean, look, we know that you can grow an ear on the back of a rat. It's not a stretch to imagine you could create another human being, okay? So, and play a role. So, that's just a reality. They constantly use these characters. And if anybody really wants to look into it, go back and look at when Hillary Clinton was speaking on 9/11 in New York, and she tripped and fell. Then she was gone. She was swept off because her daughter lived in that building. And for a fact, I know this directly. This is an absolute fact. Her body double lives 2 floors above her daughter. And so all of a sudden, Hillary Clinton comes back downstairs, and she gained 20 pounds in the 5 minutes she was upstairs.
I'm glad I'm not Hillary Clinton. I'm telling you, this COVID, no gym thing.
Yeah.
It's real.
How big is the house?
That's real, yeah.
Struggle is real.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, when she was running for the White House and I saw how much weight she had gained because I hadn't seen her, on TV. I don't follow her for a while. I was like, oh my God, they said get into the house, not become the house.
She was wearing those big muumuu suits. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
She gained like 100 pounds or something.
Committed.
Oh, anyway, well, more to part out to the rest of the countries that don't believe she's dead. So here we go. What else do we have next? So we would not have war in the Middle East. So that's good.
Unless a paintball war breaks out. That could get very messy.
Rocks. Yeah, word on the street is the Hezbollah has been collecting rocks and sticks all week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
since the incident.
Warned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very serious.
Well,
Just joking.
Yeah, well, Israel said that they were going to try to use some manual weaponry and whatnot to create fake terrorist attacks in Syria this week after this incident. And it doesn't appear they're able to do that anymore. They could walk. So, congratulations.
Kim,
keep talking,
this kind of
everyone.
thing doesn't happen. This never happens. Oh, wait. This did happen. China tried to invade Afghanistan, was it?
Well, there's articles. Go to RT.com. You'll see what I'm talking about, right? If you're not watching CNN, then watch over there. Of course, they're going to play it off like China and Russia are the good guys, but it really doesn't matter. It's not happening. So it's there. It's in mainstream media. If that's your proof, then there's proof right there. Al Jazeera also. There's articles all over the place about this stuff coming out now. Let's get to... you don't have any more questions about the almost false flag created by China war?
I have a million questions, and I really like that. I'm trying not to be too disrespectful about it. So funny, though. But, okay, so I just want to make sure we're clear on this. So the Ayatollah of Iran comes out. Because this is what leaders do. This is the kind of behavior. He's like, President Trump will be dead in 3 days, right? Because that's what real leaders do for absolutely no reason at all. That's the first part of their master plan to cause war, right? And then...
Now, if any of us said that the President of the United States is going to be dead in 3 days, right, we would all be arrested.
Immediately, right.
Yeah, that's called, a threat against the head of state,
Right.
That's not allowed,
So then there's reports that did hit the news that China was trying to provoke a war in the Middle East. And then all of a sudden, everything just stopped. Everything just stopped. And somehow, magically, all of the military equipment in the Middle East on both sides of the same war...
Nuclear arsenal.
The arsenal.
All sides.
All sides.
Of potential candidates to participate.
Right. So
now calling the South African military to the Middle East, right?
So if I could just check the scoreboard on this. So the Chinese battleships liquidated. The Middle East arsenal also liquidated. If they wanted to wage a nuclear war, these nuclear weapons are now faced back at themselves or each other or something like that.
To their respective partners on purpose.
Right.
In other words, I know who called who. I know where you are. I know who made all the threats. I know who's joining with what. I know who's supposed to get paid what. And I know where you all are, right? So now we've just pointed everything effectively. So everybody knows who everybody's partner is.
Oh, also, fun fact, probably worth mentioning, the fact that it wasn't them that moved or misdirected the nuclear weapons.
They completely lost control.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out. Okay. All right, I want to make sure I understood that correctly, so we're all on the same page here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
They still, at this moment in time, do not have control. Just in case.
Just in case. Of course.
Just in case.
Because there's no reason, there's absolutely no reason to have control of those nuclear weapons for them. Because they're crazy. All right. So what's the next topic? What else?
Okay. Next. Let's talk about stimulus for a minute.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
The assemblies are working hard on the stimulus bill. Beginning of this week, I don't remember a day ending in Y. It was light out. That's all I know. My week is like crazy right now. So I received a letter on the diplomatic line from Mitch McConnell asking for $2.83 trillion. Said you've always been so supportive. It was actually a very nice, kissing letter.
Yeah.
So
he's always been so supportive.
Always been so supportive of the United States and right?
Yeah.
And I just responded back with, this line is reserved for President Trump. We have discussed the bill in brief. Please refer to President Trump for the funding, right? I didn't say I wouldn't, or I didn't say I would. I just said, please refer back, right? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we all started this feverishly tearing apart of the bill. And I can say this now anyway, because it's already started. So then we called President Trump. He was in Mar-a-Lago, at the time. And we called him and basically let him know that if Congress wants the funding, I'm sure they're prepared to overturn the vote on the 6th. So in the course of these conversations being had then with members of the House and Senate, it became clear somebody was threatening and bribing them, right?
It's interesting.
Promising to bribe. Now Hillary's gone, so who is it? Who's the widget, right?
Yeah.
Now, please, this is intelligence information. If you're looking on the internet for it, you see rumors swirling about this person, but nobody really knows why, right? So leave it at that for now, because we don't know the outcome at this moment. Okay? Very clear. All right, so we have found out, right, and many others have found out, because it's all over Twitter and memes and this and that, it was Pence. Pence did get on the China News Network and admit that he doesn't want to be in politics anymore, and he doesn't want to participate if Trump got reelected and all of this stuff, right? That's because his deep state, how do you say, handlers, I guess you would say, have told him that's what he needs to do. So immediately Trump flies back from Mar-a-Lago back to the White House, and he has all the data now, right? He knows exactly what was happening with Congress and the Electoral College. We know that was Hillary. He gets all the information. Because why? Because the U.S. military has said just the day before, the same morning actually, that they were no longer going to work with China. They're done on the China agenda, right?
Okay, wait. So, back this up a minute. So, Pence, actively responsible and part of many things that we're kind of leaving off the table. Although I've been talking about this a year ago, we had video on the horrifying things that Pence was doing.
Yes, he was actually supposed to, part of his gift, that's why he was going to Israel that same day as the vote. Okay, he was going to collect his prizes, and one of those prizes was a harem of little boys. Just so you know.
Not anyway, 70 virgins you were expecting, but 70 virgins nonetheless.
Probably. Most likely they were
terrible
virgins. Yeah. But he was going there also to collect his prizes. Now, isn't it awful funny that Israel was supposed to be starting the war with China, installing global communism? He's pushing for Biden to get in office. You see how this all goes together now?
Yeah, it all makes sense. Okay, yeah. So now Biden has been made painfully aware, so he notified his deep state handlers that...
Yeah. And CNN.
That he was going to step down, but he notified them also that
he stepped up.
The currency evaluation wasn't going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. And that the Chinese have no money.
Yeah.
Now that's a very important aspect of this, right? So the reason why the military is bailing isn't because they saw the light necessarily, but they realized China doesn't have any money, so that option's off the table, right? But nonetheless, they're working with us now. Okay, so they're in line now to be able to get paid. Now, you put it out there that now I want to make this clear, the fraudulent decision by the Electoral College to say that Joe Biden was the president, which this is without question. This has been proven. All evidence, all counts, everything has been submitted. There is absolutely no question. We know this for a fact. Trump won by a landslide.
He did.
So you put it on there to Congress to say this reign of terror where one thing happens and you just do it how you want, that's over. You don't have a budget. You will not have a budget until you overturn this. Correct?
Well, it's not so much... It is the fact that it is fraud. So you're going to endorse
that's why I was clarifying that it's fraud
on top of this omnibus bill with even more laws. It's like saying, due to the Unicorn Act of 1778, what?
I know.
So anyway, the point is that we'll be discussing that. See what happens on Wednesday. So let's see what happens, and at that point, also let's continue on about Pence before we get to that part, right? So Pence was handed a pen and paper and was told to resign on New Year's Eve, and word on the street is not only from him, but also from the archivist that has to record things, and the judicial